Big shout out to Prime XBT for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know who Prime are a platform where you can not only trade crypto, but you can also trade FX, commodities, and stock indices. And the beauty of these guys is you can use crypto, either Bitcoin or USDT, as collateral to trade against these pairs. If you want to find out more about them, then check out the links down in the description. And if you do want to trade with them, then use our codes below to get up to a 7,000 USDT deposit bonus and 25% off trading fees. So thanks once again for sponsoring today's video. Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to this week's Bitcoin update and the first Bitcoin update of 2023. First and foremost, remember guys, everything discussed today is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is just for educational purposes only. So, following on from last week, obviously we've had the new yearly close, which does look great. And then obviously we've started off 2023 with a small 1.5% pump to the upside, which for some reason everyone's losing their mind over, but you know, that's FOMO for you. Zooming in, obviously, nothing looks great at the moment. You know, we're still continuing the downtrend. Obviously, locally we are sideways, but the monthly's still down. The weekly's overall still down, but now sideways. And the daily, we do have a slight local uptrend, but again, I'd prefer just to say this is sideways range-bound action. So no real change there on the higher time frames. Now, following on from last week's video, obviously we were talking about this local range, and here's a small clip from last week's video to talk about what we were looking at. Let's just get this playing. As it stands right now, the main levels to be aware of on your charts are the value area high, as we pointed out on the last video last week, and below us are the value area low. So these are the two biggest areas of interest for me right now. Now bear in mind it is the and as we said there, obviously those were the two areas that I was looking at on the chart. Obviously it was the Christmas period, so I wasn't looking to take many short-term trades, but if I was going to take any trades, it was going to be on those two key areas. So looking at the range itself, this is obviously what we were looking at the time. Obviously when we were recording that video, that was last Thursday, so the price was here. And then obviously the two areas of interest that we had was the value area low and the value area high. And obviously just looking to trade between value within the overall range. Bear in mind we still hold swing positions from the lows of the range, and we still hold swing positions from the highs of the range. And what happened next is, obviously after that, we did get another swipe down into this value area low, little swing failure pattern, and then since then we've formed this local uptrend. We've come back in to the EQ. We can see this here. In fact, let's change that colour just so you guys can see that a little bit clearer on your screen. Let's do something like yellow. We've come back into the EQ, which at the time was the point of control as well. Good rejection off. It was a great scalp short. And then since then, obviously, we've had a move up now, and we're now hovering back effectively within this consolidation here. Now, quick couple of updates before we get into what's going to be happening next. We've got a couple of announcements to make. First announcement is make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube, because starting this week we are going to be releasing a new mini-series which is going to be based on education. So not talking about current price action, not talking about technical analysis on altcoins or Bitcoin. It's going to be talking about education when it comes to trading related content. So effectively everything you need to know from a beginner trader through to more advanced things. Obviously we're not going to go into as much detail as the members get in the private group, but this will give you a very good base and a very good foundation to continue your trading journey. The other announcement we've got to make is we have had a slight tweak to our website, albeit on the private members area. We've simplified the monthly payment plans now, so no longer do we offer the 3 and 6 month plans. We just offer one fixed monthly membership, and this is the price for the foreseeable future. So obviously if you guys want to learn along with us, get access to obviously all our educational content. There's hours upon hours on there now. Obviously, the new live streams, we've made a commitment in the group now where we are also going to go live on special events. So, for example, last night's FOMC minutes, we went live and we talked through and we ended up doing some live trading together. And we'll also be doing a few session opens as well, including New York opens. So you get my thoughts in real time, and as I say, you also might see a little bit of live trading. It's not planned as live trading streams, but obviously if a trade appears, then I'll be taking the trade, because that's what I would be doing anyway. So obviously that's the little announcement about that. Speaking of last night's FOMC, that's something that we were looking at in the group last night together. Let's just hide this. What we were looking for is a sweep of these highs that we had in, which that was the current high that had been made through the day. And this had been done in the morning, so this was 8 AM and this is UTC. And then obviously the event came in, we got the push higher. We can see this on a lower time frame. We got the push higher. We collected a load of breakout traders up here. We can see that when we're looking at the footprint charts. We'll come back here. We collected a load of breakout traders. Let's make this so it's a little bit more visible. There we go. We see all the excess above the highs. You know, all these people long in the breakout, hoping that this was just going to pump and continue going up. Lo and behold, no continuation. Price then came back below, could not get back above this excess, and continued to drop. So that was a trade that we were looking at taking. You can see from our Twitter screenshot. This is what we're looking at. Obviously, this is a little announcement from the Discord where we were promising that 2023 we're going to do a lot more live streams for you guys, for the members. And in the end, myself and a fair few members ended up taking a very nice trade. Now, we're still sat in that trade, but we have taken profits and stops are to break even. So if we do reverse here and continue moving up, then we get stopped out and we look for our next area of interest to the upside. So, following on from that, what would be our next area of interest for the upside? Well, let's take a view of this, shall we? So, to the upside, let's pull back here. Let's come back out to the 1 hour. There we go. Right, so let's get the overall range on. And let's now drag this volume profile all the way along. So we're now updated. Now we can see that the point of control has moved now. And obviously, that's the thing with trading. Obviously, it's very dynamic. It moves. And as things move, we've got to be aware and we've got to keep up with the changes. Because now the point of control is down here. Previously, it was on the Q. Now, we can see by looking at the volume profile here, we do have still a high volume node just above the EQ. And funnily enough, that's where price is stalling. So, what can we see from here? Well, if we can continue to hold the EQ, in fact, let's just zoom into the 4 hour so it's a little bit larger on the screen. There we go. If we can hold the EQ and get above this volume cluster, then once again I'm looking for the same region, but now this region is now going to be divided into two. So first and foremost, we have the value area high. Now, if we get no reaction on the value area high, now obviously by reaction what I'm looking for is ideally something, if it does come up here, maybe a little wick through, back down, and then continues down. Now obviously, there's your short trigger. If you don't get this, and price just continues to move up, then the next area of interest I'd be looking at would be around this golden pocket. And again, I'm going to call this a region, because obviously anyone that trades order blocks and things along those lines, you know, methods that we don't really use, but obviously they're going to be looking at this area here, which is a perfectly valid area. So obviously you've got anywhere between this space and the golden pocket. So that'll be then my next area of interest to the upside. Clear that, then I'm going to be looking for range highs. Quite simply that. Obviously if it comes up to range highs, then we'll see what happens. If we do get a reaction at range highs and we'll come back down and change market structure, then you've got your short trigger. Failing that, look to be taking out these highs. If it continues up, we've talked about higher targets in the previous videos, so obviously if you want to go back and check them out, then feel free to do so. To the downside, what happens if we lose this? Well, if we do lose this, then first and foremost, I'm looking back down towards this point of control, because we do have some fresh support down there as well. It's not just the point of control, we have more fresh support down here. So if we do lose this, then I'll be looking down here, which would be nice to take these lows. bit of a liquidity grab, and it might give us a bounce opportunity. If that doesn't happen, then once again, I'm going to be looking down at this value area low region. Now, so far we can see from the chart that we've got this low here, then we've got a higher low here, so we didn't take the liquidity. So could this be another higher low for the range, or do we finally take the liquidity from these lows before a potential bounce, which effectively will be coming back into this consolidation here? If no reaction on the way down, then quite simply, I'm just looking for the range low. Now at the range low, ideally, as I've said time and time again, I'd prefer to see these lows being swept, because effectively we've got a double bottom, and personally I'm not a fan of double bottoms or double tops. So ideally, if we are going to continue this range, then I'd love for these to be swept before a bullish reclaim, change your market structure, and then you got your long trigger. Okay, so I know a lot of people don't like range bound environments because it's not sexy and it's not, you know, it's not exciting, but you know, this is bread and butter. This is where money is to be made. Okay, you got range bound, you've got a clear defined high, you've got a clear defined low. There's your outer bound of the range. If you're trading within the range, you can either be trading value, which is always a good one to be trading, and then obviously if it gets beyond value, then you know you're looking at some bigger setups potentially. If this range low is lost, then we're looking at targets that we've discussed a few weeks ago. Once again, check out our previous videos if you want to see what our targets are to the downside, and then to the upside, as we say, we'll be looking back up towards this 19 to 20k region to see if we get a reaction there. If not, then we're just going to be trading back this old range that we were stuck in for 6 months. Okay, so that's it. Short and sweet, no real update, low time frame, in and out of trades. Don't hang on to things hoping that, you know, potential intradays or scalps are going to be swing trades. If we do get to the outer bounds, then you know you've potentially got some better setups. But for now, yeah, let's be patient and wait for your areas of interest and don't overtrade. All right, gang, that'll do for today. As you were. Bye bye.